Everyone is passionate about something, whether it's comics or Pokemon, movies, or your favorite sport. In this podcast, we talk about many things. Mostly, we delve into comics and comic-related subjects. Come with us and find out if you're in love with a nerd.
God, I'm in love with a nerd.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to You're in Love with a Nerd. With me is Jen. Say hi, Jen.
Hi.
Hi. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
I'm doing better.
You're doing better than me? You got to one-up me? What's
that
up with
is
that? You
not
trying to
what-
pick a fight already?
Uh-huh.
We're just
Let's go.
starting the show.
Let's go.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. You do. You're looking and sounding better than you were on the last show.
Yeah, sorry, no more. No, it'll still happen, but words are hard.
That's just going to be your thing. You're going to be jazz hands.
And the Bog Witch.
No, you're just jazz hands. You can't be two people.
No, I can if I try hard enough.
Well, you can, but I guess.
Fine.
Don't let me tell you what to do.
No, I'm doing a lot better. We still don't know what was wrong, but I'm forming sentences a little bit better. I'm still not allowed to read until we know if it was a virus or stress or whatever was causing why I couldn't read. But I have been allowed to listen to a little bit more simpler books. But
Simpler books.
yeah, not anything
the audio
too
book for see Dick run.
kinda. Yeah,
See Jane make fun of the way he runs.
maybe. I didn't read that one.
That's
No, they can be a little bit more complicated than that. I'm not supposed to do anything that taxes my brain too much. So,
okay.
no decision making. Still can't go to work. Still. But
Can still work in Congress.
probably.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a requirement. But
So I think it's all these the alien invasion. I think when that last UFO came through, it just zapped you in the head.
okay. That explains a lot.
Yeah. So did you feel better or worse when they shot it down?
When did they shoot it down?
Well, I believe there's like a third or fourth one that they've seen.
Because yesterday was a really bad day, remember? Like, I couldn't focus. No, wait. Yesterday was a good day. The day before was a bad day, right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Time is.
Especially when you've been home for a week and a half. Like, I don't even know what day it is.
Yeah. It's Sunday.
It is Sunday. Yes. I don't know. But yeah, I'm doing a little bit better. But since I've been allowed to like listen to audiobooks, I've been doing this game and it has been absolutely amazing. It has been so much fun. But like I have been reading the best weird books ever. It's just been nothing but like Date the Kraken kind of stuff. And so I read this wonderful Mothman one called Sweet Berries that's just like Mothman smut, and I loved it so much.
It's called what now?
Sweet Berries. She works at a farm.
Berries.
No, she works at a farm, and he's a scientist trying to help pollinators, and it's so sweet for being a Mothman smut story. Like, there's actual plot and stuff. It's wonderful.
All right. What's the lady's name?
Grace.
Grace? Oh.
I believe so.
It's not some pun on berries.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm so bad with names. I don't even remember Mothman's name, so.
It's Mothman.
No, he had an actual name.
John Mothman.
John Mothman. That's the best name ever.
Of the Jersey Mothmans.
The Jersey Mothmans.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I read I read a dragon one and a kraken one and a Mothman one and a Minotaur one. I'm kind of scared of the Minotaur one. But again, they were like really sweet stories with like actual plots. And then it got me thinking that like maybe that would make a really fun episode. Not like smutty monsters. Like,
Not talking about Mothman's berries.
no, we're not going to talk about Mothman. They're like inside. It was very weird and very gay, and I loved it. But
They went into where his berries were.
yeah, I think you just broke my brain.
Did I lose your train of thought?
Yeah, you broke my brain.
You wanted to do a show about
Monsters. So, like, what is your favorite and the best and the first one that scared the shit out of you and, like, monsters? I mean, I guess we could talk about the ones you want to sleep with, but, I mean, I'd rather just, like, I don't know. Monsters. I like monsters.
Oh, boy. Are there many monsters that you want to sleep with?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Not even like a big... I was going to say Spider-Man, but that's an actual thing.
Yeah, Spider-Man's a person.
No, that's Spider-Man. That swings on his hyphen webs. And that's all the way across the country.
In New York, right? Okay.
In New hyphen York.
I don't think he's classified as a monster. He is just a New Yorker.
Yeah, he does kind of seem like just a nice guy that tries too hard.
He really does, doesn't he?
Yeah, he just takes on too much.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to say, fuck you guys, and
Save your own damn train.
save yourself. That was one of my favorite bits from Family Guy, where Spider hyphen Man would swing in, and he's like, "Everybody gets one," and then he would just fuck off.
That's funny.
You never saw one of those?
I don't know.
No.
I don't think so. Maybe.
Cool. Well, I've been kind of reading I've been kind of reading a monster book. I've made it more than halfway through this gigantic...
That thing is a beast.
I know, it's enormous, and I usually have to have a big pillow in my lap in order to be able to even read it.
We have a lot of books like that that are just like super huge.
Yeah,
And I love them, but they're hard to read.
they're good. So, So, did you want to start, or did you?
Okay, so what was the very first monster that scared you? The very first one, like the earliest memory of a monster that was actually kind of scary. And it doesn't have to be like, I mean, like I instantly think of the kid who their first scary monster was the monkey King Louie from Jungle Book. Right? Like they were terrified. Yeah. And so like it doesn't have to be like an actual monster, but like the first movie or whatever that scared you.
Well, yeah, that's easy. It's Medusa from Clash of the Titans.
Oh, I forgot that you watched that way too young.
Yeah.
I forgot that you watched that way too young.
I watched that at least a couple of times in the drive-in.
Wow.
Yeah, and that old Harryhausen Medusa just scared the crap out of me.
So mine was V. And, like, we were so sheltered as kids. Like, I was not allowed anything. And so, like, you're still running into that today, being with me for 20 years. It's like, no, I wasn't allowed to watch that. So I'd never seen, like, a Freddy or a Jason or nothing. None of the classic movie monsters. But when V hit TV, it was, like, the early 80s, right? So
yeah.
I was under 10. But the way the house was set up, I could lay in my bed and watch TV. And so I would watch V every night, and I could barely hear it. But there was this scene where she reaches up and she scratches her face, and underneath it is all green. And I screamed bloody murder while my parents were watching it. I just let out this ear-piercing scream. And that was the last time. And like they rearranged the house the next day, and I couldn't watch TV anymore.
Yeah. I couldn't do that in my house growing up, because our bedroom was basically a separate house.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. No, I lived in a really long trailer, and so, like, I could look down from my bedroom went directly into the living room. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, that was the very first one that, like, actually, like, terrified me. And then I remember sneaking out to watch Candyman. And I think I was in high school by then, by the time Candyman came out. But
Yeah.
I snuck out, went to a friend's house, and we rented Candyman, and then we ran outside, and we're running around screaming his name out in like the outside, and then like there was a prowler. There was like somebody out there, and so like we had to call like 911 because some dude was in our backyard.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we summoned Candyman.
You,
We summoned Candyman the Tweaker, but it was really scary. And then we watched the cat one afterwards.
the cat one?
Yeah, the one where they like had sex with cat people.
Uh,
Stephen King did it.
yeah, the Sleepwalkers? Is that what it was called? Or
Sleepers or Sleepwalkers. Yeah.
Yeah.
It had the whoosh 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 guy.
Yeah.
It had my jazz hands guy.
It had jazz hands from the previous episode.
Yeah. He was in it. And then there was this scene where like the cat jumped on the table and the cat noise scared her cat. And so when their cat screamed, her cat screamed. We all about peed ourselves.
That's funny.
Yeah.
See, we watched V when we were kids. We were allowed to watch that, and we were allowed to watch Clash of the Titans, obviously, and we were allowed to watch. There was another one. God, what was it's got worm tongue in it.
The one with the monsters, like they come out of the ground, like Dune, but not.
You're thinking of Tremors.
Oh yeah, that's what I was
with
thinking of.
Kevin Bacon, and that's
not Worm Tongue.
That's a different guy. No, it's they had this machine that would allow you to go into people's sleep, their dreams. They were doing like
Like a Dreamwalker kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dreamscape.
I don't know that one.
No. Well, that's another one that scared me, and weirdly also involving snakes. It's kind of weird that I don't have a snake thing.
Yeah.
Because there was one point where Brad Dorff, is that his name? Brad.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Anyway, Worm Tongue, and Chucky turned into this big snake while he was in this dude's brain, and that scared the crap out of me too.
Yeah, that sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
I like the weird ones like that though. Now that I'm older,
But, like,
I get a bigger enjoyment out of the like silly ones like that. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
But like, I don't know, the other ones didn't really bug me that much. Like especially Nightmare on Elm Street. Those were just campy and cheesy.
Yeah, by the time I saw my first one, it didn't scare me, but I was an adult. Like, but we were so sheltered as kids. Like, I got in trouble for watching Robin Hood, the Kevin Costner one.
Yeah.
I got in trouble for watching that. It was inappropriate. And so, like, we were not allowed hardly anything growing up. Like, it had to be very, like, Disney or... Like, we were allowed to watch, like, Secret of Nim, which is terrifying.
Yeah.
And I could watch Last Unicorn. Like, we watched that one all the time. And Asterix and Obelix. But those were at Grandma's house. At home, we hardly watched anything.
We were generally like unsupervised, and we had HBO.
Oh, we were never
And,
unsupervised.
And then the store that's over there, the general store, they
You could buy smokes and beer back then. Like, it's for Dad.
Yeah, they rented
Like-
movies.
Yeah.
And we would just walk down there, rent a bunch of, like a big old stack of R-rated horror movies.
Oh, goodness. That's, I guess, the upside of living in a small farming community in the 80s. Like,
Yeah,
nobody cared.
They didn't care.
No, nobody cared.
Weirdly, I watched the Evil Dead movies, but I watched them out of order because I didn't know they were connected.
Oh, okay.
I watched Army of Darkness. Was the first one that I watched.
That's
And
the
then-
chainsaw one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I watched Evil Dead 2. And then way later, I finally watched the first one.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but whatever.
Yeah, we didn't watch a whole lot growing up. And so, like, I got exposed to all of, like, you were pretty much my exposure to good horror. Like, and by good horror, I mean, like, the stuff that we enjoy, right? Like, silly, campy,
Yeah.
And I love that the kid is just kind of gone in that direction with you. Like they're way into campy horror more than anything else, and it's wonderful.
Yeah. Well, they both like scary movies, but they like different kind of scary movies.
Yeah.
The oldest was really into Alien and Predator,
Oh gosh, yeah. I
and
do like Alien.
and the other one likes psychological, like Silent Hill and Jacob's Ladder, and
Silent Hill is terrifying. Like that one is so scary. I love it, but there's not a lot that scares me as an adult. Like most of these horror movies that we watched, like yes, I get the jump scares, right? Like that one that we watched where they went underground in the catacombs.
oh yeah, that had a lot of
As above, so below. So as was it called As Above, So Below?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That one was really good at making you think you were crazy because like you'd see something in the corner
yeah.
and then you'd focus on it and be gone. But then it'd jump out and scare the crap out of you. And it was so awesome.
That one had a nice balance of jump scare and tension.
Yeah, like because you didn't know when the thing you saw in the corner was going to jump out at you or just disappear forever.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they just went away. And then it was like half an hour before it jumped out and scared you. And you're just like, I knew you were there, fucker. But like...
And those are generally my favorite.
Yeah.
Like that one. And I really enjoyed The Ritual.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
The Witch was really good. That it was just a super slow burn. And then
Yeah.
big payoff at the end. But they just kind of held that tension.
Right.
Which is what I liked about the latest Batman movie.
It was so good. They did a really good job.
Yeah, they just held that tension until he started wailing on people, and then they kind of let it go, and then
Right.
and then put it back on.
Well, and like my first thought with the Batman movie was, why the hell do we need a 3-hour-long Batman movie? Like, we've already seen his origin story 85 million times. Why do we need a 3-hour-long Batman movie? But it did not feel like a long movie.
Yeah.
Like, it was so well done. Like, the pacing, and he's probably my favorite Batman now, which I never thought I'd say. But he was phenomenal.
Yeah, when they announced it, I was like, yeah, he's done other things, but he's all, you know.
Right, I knew he was better than Twilight, but like I knew he was a good actor, and I
Yeah.
knew he liked doing weird indie stuff. That doesn't always translate to a good Batman. But he was phenomenal.
But he did a movie with Willem Dafoe, and so that's okay with me.
No, he was really good. I was really impressed with that one.
Yeah.
I was not expecting it to be my favorite Batman movie.
I went into it kind of apprehensive, but it was well done.
And I was impressed with the guy who played Jesse James in The Penguin, the Irish guy. I know I'm not helping, but
Oh crap! Farrell.
yeah, Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell.
I was impressed with him as the Penguin. Like,
Yeah.
it was good because like he didn't sound like him. He didn't look like, it was pretty cool. Like to see him completely transform like that and become somebody so different.
I would. I've recently seen quite a few like tweets, people just being super mad at him because they've had them fooled for so many years. Or they're like, we thought he was just a terrible actor. He's just this incredible character actor.
Yeah. Well, because like you have another guy like that, John Leguizamo, where like he's super talented because like he's a clown, and then he was in that Tu Wong Fu, and then he played not Mercutio, Tybalt. He played Tybalt, and he played the something dwarf. Like he had a big long title in Moulin Rouge where he was like the singer guy. And like he is crazy talented. I did not know that Colin Farrell was that kind of an actor, but like,
go figure.
But my favorite movies of his was like when he played Jesse James. He had an American accent. he was really good at it. And then he talked in the credits afterwards. I was like, holy crap, that guy's not American. Like, I did not know.
Yeah.
But yeah, and as the Penguin, like, that was really cool to see him just, I don't know. It was neat. He obviously enjoyed it. And
I'm
that
sure.
was cool.
I'm sure he enjoyed just being this gross mob boss.
That's the way to do acting, though. Like, I don't know. I think I would be so bored, like, playing the like hero or whatever. Like, be the creepy villain. Be the like. I watched Criminal Minds, and Will Wheaton was on it, right? And
Will Wheaton.
yeah, and he played the fucking creepiest bad guy in the entire series.
Yeah.
Like, he was like this motel owner, and it was like kind of this whole Norman Bates thing going on, except he did horrible things to women, and it was just so, oh my gosh.
And Norman Bates didn't.
Will Wheaton won. He did more horrible things.
Okay.
Well, not Will Wheaton personally, whatever the bad guy's name was.
Damn you, Will Wheaton. What are you doing?
Yeah. I need to watch The Last Jeopardy to see if he won. I like started watching him play Jeopardy, and then like this was like months late, and I never watched if he won. I don't know.
Hashtag fake fan.
Cruel. I buy every audiobook just because he narrates it. I have like 3 that I don't. I was no interest, but I was like, hey, he reads it. I want it. I don't know. It's weird, but I really liked him reading Ready Player One.
Yeah, that was.
He did a
cool.
really good job.
Especially since he got to mention himself in the elections for the
yeah,
president of the internet or whatever.
Him and Cory Doctorow, we got to meet him. He's the one that signed our autograph book to highest bidder because we had the family autograph book. Yeah, that was Cory Doctorow.
Oh.
He wrote that really cool book about the terrorist attack in San Francisco where they arrested all the kids and put them on Alcatraz Island. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, Super Mega Saves the Troops.
No, different one. Little Brother. It was called Little Brother.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, and it was really good. I just bought. He had a Kickstarter where you could buy the 3rd one. I just haven't listened to it yet, but so we have all of the audiobooks now. But
Very cool.
yeah.
So monsters.
Sorry. Well, these were kind of monsters.
Yeah, people could be monsters too.
Oh.
Don't be classist.
But you know who makes the best monsters?
Who?
Japan.
Japan.
Heck yeah.
What have they ever done?
The Grudge.
The Grudge.
I still haven't rewatched that.
Why not?
Oh my god, you scared the shit out of me. Oh. I thought you were just
I
being
wasn't
nice.
in that movie.
I thought you were just being nice. And so we're sitting there, and it's that scene with the blankets, and he's like, and I still remember flying over the back of the couch. But like, so we're sitting on the couch, and for those out there that have never watched a movie with me, I start out on my own couch with my own blanket, and then if the movie gets scary, then he has to share his couch. And then, so I've already scooted over, like 20 minutes into the movie, I'm like, oh god. And so I've got my blanket, and I'm hiding, and you,
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm like, I just think you're being sweet. And so I'm like snuggling on the couch, and your hands go under the blanket, and as soon as that thing pops out of the blanket, you grabbed me. And I flew over the couch. You scared the crap out of me.
I have no recollection of this. I think
You're
making that up.
lying. You know you remember. I made you strip the bed before we could go to bed.
Yeah.
It's not often a movie sticks with me after it's over, but The Grudge scared the crap out of me. Like, I still haven't rewatched it.
That was a pretty good movie.
Yeah. And we watched the one that had Sarah Michelle
Ted
Gellar
Raimi,
in it.
yeah.
What?
It had Ted Raimi in it.
Yeah. And Sarah Michelle Gellar. It had Buffy in it. And
Nobody knows who that is.
nobody knows who Buffy is?
No.
Okay. But it had her in it, and so it wasn't even the original Japanese one. Like, that one was scary too, but oh my goodness. Yeah, you scared the crap out of me. That's probably my scariest.
Your scariest?
Probably. I don't know.
Do you have any like favorite monsters?
Nessie. But
Nessie?
like only because it's Nessie in Scotland but like movie monsters? I mean I have lots and lots of them. Like I love Mothman. Not Mothman. Mothra. Wrong one.
They're the same guy.
Explains a lot.
Mothra's not a man.
Mothra's a girl, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. But like it's hard to pick one. Like like anytime I have to pick like a monster for like the games and stuff that we play, I always end up picking like a kaiju. I love not kaiju. Kappa. I love the kappas,
like
the
kappas.
little, and I really like the kappas in the bed and breakfast for spirits because they're these little chibi things that just run around and steal your cucumbers, and they're so adorable. And I know that kappas are terrifying. Like I understand that they're more like snapping turtles than ninja turtles, but they were so cute.
Just keep cucumbers on you. You're fine.
Yeah, I'm a big kappa fan. I just like monsters in general. Like, I would much rather watch a monster story. And even if they're human monsters, like vampires, witches, like, I would much rather watch that than anything else.
Is a witch a monster?
It depends on your lore, because some people don't think witches are human. So some lore says they're not human. So, like, Baba Yaga, I would say is a monster, not a person. But she's a witch. But, like, I would say the ones from the Charmed one or whatever, they're just people with magical powers. So I think it depends on your lore. Because sometimes witches are considered monsters. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the only monster I'm not a fan of are zombies. I don't like zombie movies. Or books. Or...
But would, in that classification, would zombies be a monster?
I don't know. Because, like, they used to be people.
Yeah.
I don't know. Goldfish. Goldfish are the best monsters.
Goldfish. You just want more people to read Shibuya Goldfish.
I do. I need everybody to read Shibuya Goldfish because we need a sequel. Tokyo Trout.
Tokyo Trout. Maybe they'll do a sequel with kappas.
Oh, that'd be cool. I like kappas. I don't know. I just think they're creepy. And they're interesting because, like, they're not... I don't know.
Did you ever see the Hellboy animated
Yeah, with the kappas in it.
Where
Yeah.
He dumps the water out and then he just uses them as a club.
Yeah. That was horrible. All right, what about you? What's your favorite monster?
I'm not sure.
It's hard to pick, isn't it?
So, I don't know if it would be considered a monster or just a cryptid, but I've always been fond of Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Which we have a Bigfoot right behind you.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah, we've got a couple of Bigfoots in here.
Yeah.
I was actually on a... well, I won't get into that because I'd have to mention where it was. I worked at a place where we were split into teams, and one of my teams were the Bigfoots or whatever.
Yeah.
And that boss screwed me. Which I still can't remember the dude's name, and somebody else that would have known him keeps asking me about it, and I just can't remember the guy's name. But that doesn't matter, and I'll probably cut this out. But yeah, Bigfoot is probably like one of the coolest monsters, especially since he's local.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do one of those like overnight trips into the Cascades, to like specifically designed for looking for Bigfoot. Like, I think that if you come to the Tri-Cities, or if you come to the Pacific Northwest, you gotta go look for Bigfoot. Like, that's the law.
Yeah, we don't have anything like
Here.
really close to us except like irradiated fish and
Werewolves.
coyotes.
And vampires and the fair in Walla Walla. And you're just reading the wrong books.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But like movie monsters, probably the xenomorphs in the
they're
Alien
creepy.
series.
I love them.
And well, I guess I wouldn't be powering through that 2-foot thick Predator book
Yeah.
if I didn't like the Predators.
I don't tend to like most sci-fi monsters. Like, I don't like the whole like genetically altered. I don't know. I don't like feeling stupid, and most sci-fi makes me feel like I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't understand the science, and then I get so wrapped up in trying to understand the science that I lose the plot, and so I struggle with that. And then like, or the science is so simple that it doesn't make any sense, and then I get mad and I lose the plot because that's not nearly complicated enough. But like, it's like,
Where it's basically just magic
yeah,
engines and stuff.
yeah, I don't like that's fantasy, and that's fine if you want to do it that way. But like, I don't know. But I don't like weird fantasy sci-fi. Like Star Wars, when they made everything like a virus instead of magic, I didn't like that. Like,
I have no idea what you're
magic
talking
or
about.
science, pick a side.
Because you're talking about some kind of weird fever dream that
okay.
we all woke up from.
Oh, that didn't happen?
Yeah.
That's one of those Mandela effect things?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what you're saying.
All right. Shazam. But,
Shazam. Shizuki.
whatever. I forgot the name of the movie that was the fake one. But, Alien and Predator were really good at balancing that. Like the Alien movies were complicated, but what was nice about it is you weren't following the scientists. You were following like the grunt, and so they were just like, it's sciencey, and they were like, yeah, we don't fucking care. And I'm like, yeah, my people.
Well, they did a really cool thing also with the production where they split. They had completely different creative teams for the aliens and the humans.
Oh, okay.
And that's why you had that just stark difference between all of the human ships were all like white and clean, and everything was organized, and then you had Giger's utter biomechanical chaos,
Right.
of the aliens and the ships and all of the technology that goes along with that.
And they just worked so well together because they like clash, and it was such a visual clash.
Yeah, and they paid attention to the soundscapes and
Yeah.
just built wonderful tension.
Mm-hmm. And then the story becomes way less about the alien or the creature or the genetic experiment gone wrong, and becomes way more about like the people and how are they connected, and are they going to survive, what's going to happen with the cat, and like you get super invested in little things like that.
Yeah.
And then it's gone. And I think that's why I did enjoy Walking Dead, even though I don't like zombies, is because it wasn't about the zombies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was
a good story. Well,
and probably why I stopped watching when they killed off my favorite characters.
Yeah. A zombie movie that was just about zombies would just be kind of boring.
But like that's one of the things that they don't get right so often. It's about gore and gross and
Yeah.
And I don't.
That's why I got really turned off of zombie movies through the 80s.
Yeah. 'Cause they're just eating your face, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it's all goopy and gore and
gross.
Yeah. So I didn't like them for a long time, and I resisted watching The Walking Dead for quite a while.
Yeah.
And then I finally, fine, I'll give it a shot, and then I really liked it.
Yeah, and then you had me watch it.
Yeah, and then it was kind of a return to the Romero.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Eldritch horror?
I have a hard time with that one. I haven't read a lot of them, but my brain does, because like we're talking like Cthulhu and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And my brain has a really hard time with older classics because I get really, really mad, or I get confused, or I get wrapped up in like the sexism or the racism that sometimes happens with classics, and then I'm out of the story.
Yeah.
And so I like the idea of Cthulhu and the big godlike monsters, like that is awesome. Now, if somebody could just redo it without the other stuff.
And that's kind of Lovecraft in media.
Yeah.
Because we know what you're thinking, Justin. A lot of people do get turned off of the stories because it is kind of lazy writing. It's full of xenophobia.
Yeah.
A lot of really old thinking. But on the other hand, a lot of those stories were written for like just pulp magazines.
Right. And it's not something that's gone away. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, Alien still has that whole xenophobia thing in it. They still do it, but I don't know. I guess I like my racism a little bit more subtle. I don't know. Like, it's so hard to explain because, like,
Well, you like it when somebody takes the story and runs with it and fleshes it out and kind of takes the racism out, basically.
well, I want there to be like, if there's going to be that in it, I don't want the racist to win. I don't want that. Like, I'm all for a villain winning. I love villains that walk away like victorious. I think that is amazing, unless you're a piece of shit, and then I want you to die a horrible death.
So you don't really like the unspeakable cosmic horror to win in the end?
Unless they're not a dick.
The unspeakable cosmic horror?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, I don't know. Because I don't like redemption arcs either. But, but like, I don't know. I think sometimes the bad guy is just the bad guy, right? And I'm okay with that. And I like that. And sometimes the bad guy wins. And I'm okay with that. And I like that. I don't know why I hate it so much if the bad guy is like racist thought or homophobic thought or like, I don't want those ideas to ever win when I'm reading. And sometimes in a Cthulhu story, those thoughts are what save the day. And maybe I've only read a couple, so maybe I'm just picking bad ones. But like, I want the bad guy to get their comeuppance if I hate the bad guy. If I like the bad guy, then it's okay. I don't know. That sounds stupid, and I'm not wording it well. Apparently, I still have some of that brain fog, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not being very clear.
I don't know. I agree and disagree. I like the old stories. I'm the same way with like Poe. I like that old classic.
Yeah, the mystery and the creepy and the
Yeah.
murdering the guy because he's got a creepy eye. Like, I get that. But I guess that's the same.
Sometimes it just doesn't translate well.
And maybe that's it. Because I like Poe. I'm okay with Poe. Like, he's not my favorite, but I like Poe.
Yeah.
But I think I like Poe because I like the mystery. Like, how did he die? What happened to him? How did he live? Like, why? What was going on in his brain that made him think like this? And I guess I just don't have that investment in Lovecraft. And maybe if I did, I would want to understand him more and I'd like his work more. I don't know. It's just okay. Like,
I found a really cool channel on YouTube that just has a ton of like audio.
yeah.
And the dude that does the audio readings is just this he sounds like he's like 97 from back in.
He sounds like he was around when it was written.
Yeah. I don't know. He has a lot of because the stories are supposed to take place around like the mythical Arkham and like that area.
Isn't it basically the same area that Stephen King stories take place?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
But the dude that does all the stories, it kind of reminds me of my grandfather's accent. He was from Missouri.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got that kind of
Right.
inflections in his voice, and I don't know. It was a comfort thing for me, I think.
Yeah, I've listened to him with you before. He's got one of those voices that you could like. He sounds like Grandpa reading you a bedtime story. It's
Yeah.
really cool.
So I guess if being spoon fed some of the racism by an old, a super old white guy is different, maybe I don't know.
I don't know. And again, I have not read very much, so like I could have just had bad luck in the ones I started, and I'm just like, because I had to abandon one of them. I was like, I cannot do this. I can't listen to how everything is this poor couple's fault. And I don't even remember which one it was.
Mm.
But like, it was just too much to, I don't know.
Yeah, some of his early ones are dripping with it, but then he eventually like realized, oh crap, I'm a racist, and started kind of trying to like move it away and be more like, oh no, it's the monsters, which is just a stand-in for the others
Yeah, it's
being
still kind of
people.
that
Yeah. So
us
I don't know.
versus them sort of
There's
mentality that,
there's no real good way to do it, but
well, and
I
I
guess
hate to be the person's like, it was a different time because racism is racism and it's horrible no matter when it's done. But like, that stuff was a lot less not police, that's not the right word, but it was a lot more socially acceptable to have the us versus them.
yeah. Well, that's the
And
basis for any conflict. You got to have a
right.
them. You got to have some kind of thing that you rally against, which is why inclusion is very important when you're doing a like a monster movie or anything
Yeah.
with a conflict. And that's what I loved as a kid watching Aliens,
Yeah,
because
cuz
you had a ton of representation in there.
and
You
it
had
was the first time I saw a badass girl.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, besides Princess Leia, because like I grew up on Princess Leia to the point that I kind of forget about Space Mom because she was badass, but she was still a side character. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
she was still
She was still
Luke
the one that
Skywalker's sister. Like,
they were going to rescue, even though she
yeah,
kind of took over as soon as she was rescued. But
right. But
she still
she
needed
was
rescued.
still
Yeah,
not. Why can't I think of her name?
Sigourney Weaver,
Well,
Ripley.
Ripley.
Yeah,
That's what I was trying to think of. Ripley. And all I could think of was Sigourney Weaver, but she was not Ripley. And like Ripley was, and you kind of got it with like the Terminator, right? Where you had, but even that in the first movie, she was the one running. She was the one that had to be rescued. But Ripley didn't have to be rescued.
are you talking about the first Predator movie?
Nope, not Predator. The other one with Aren't Come With Me If You Want to Live.
Oh, Terminator.
Yeah, the other one. Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
Because like she was badass too, but not right away.
not right away, but right away she was a waitress in a cafe.
Right, 100%.
So
But Ripley was like always badass. Like she was there and she was gonna win.
and if they would have listened to her, then the thing wouldn't have got on the ship to begin with.
I know. But like that was something that I didn't see a lot as a kid. Like it was always damsel in distress and
Yeah.
wait around for the guy to save you, and that's just how movies were. And so to see Ripley come in and kick ass was amazing.
Yeah, and then in the second one you had like Vasquez and
Yeah.
all of the other characters that were.
And I think the second Alien was actually the one I watched first.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was what it was for me too, because it was on. We had HBO.
My aunt was obsessed with them. So Heather's mom used to like we'd go over and watch like she was really into like Star Trek and Aliens. Like she was a total sci-fi nerd, and so I watched Aliens with her and Uncle Keith.
Nice.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, so fantasy monsters or sci-fi monsters? What's better?
so what? Okay, so what's the distinction?
So sci-fi is science only. so you're looking at like your Godzillas and your alien and your predator, like they're
and, like-
aliens or they're, but fantasy is magical. So
Like
your
unicorns
and Pegasus and mermaids and
I'd have to say the sci-fi then, because those are all the really cool ones, like Frankenstein and
yeah, that's a
and
good one.
Predator and all those. So in that respect, what would be the Eldritch?
Well, they would be magic because they're gods,
Okay,
right? Because they're gods, right?
So-
Cthulhu's a god. Am I correct? Not an alien. He's a
yeah,
god.
like an elder god.
So he would be magic.
Yeah.
Dragons, minotaurs, those would all be magic. Medusa would be magic.
So so Hellboy would be more
He would be magic because
More
he's
fantasy
demon,
than-
so he would be fantasy. Yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I never even thought about it that way.
Because like your fantasy ones are all born and created out of magic. So if they would belong on Star Wars, they're fantasy. If they would belong on Star Trek, they're magic or they're sci-fi.
Okay.
So like your any alien, any scientific experiment, like when that one we watched, the TV show where they lived in space and sent the kids down and all the animals had like mutated, that would be sci-fi.
What was that? The
100, I
the
think.
100?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be
was
sci-fi.
pretty good. We never did finish that either.
No, it was really good though. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, so I guess Venom would be sci-fi, right? But most of your comic book ones would be sci-fi because like Man-Bat would be sci-fi,
Yeah.
Killer Croc would be sci-fi because none of them were created with magic.
Yeah.
Etrigan would be magic.
And like all of the Masters of the Universe.
Would be magic, right?
Yeah.
Because they were born that way and they had magic. So it'd be fantasy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd have to go with sci-fi because I've always really liked the aliens and Predator and
You see, I'm the opposite.
yeah, the opposite.
I want demons and I want unicorns that eat people and mermaids that drown sailors and yeah, that's what I want. I like magic. The fantasy ones just, I don't know. And I think part of it is like, so the sci-fi ones have very strict rules, right? Like if you are a science-based thing, you can't do magic, you can't have magical powers, you have to be very, like it has to be very logical
Yeah.
in order to stick in my brain, right? But like if it's a magical creature, anything can go. It doesn't matter. The answer is magic. Why can a 150-pound man turn into a 500-pound werewolf? Magic. Like that is the only answer. But if it's a sci-fi creature, then it has to have logic,
Yeah.
right? Why can't a vampire go out in the day? Magic. Why does the predator rain acid blood? I don't know, but you better have a damn good reason for it because science.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why I like magic, is that you can step away a little bit. Like you get kappas and stuff like that, and they don't have rules. They can do whatever they want. Like if a kappa just started teleporting, that's okay because magic. It's chaos.
Kind of like our conversation about your
Zombie cats.
zombie cats.
Magic. Why can the goldfish fly? Magic.
Well, they're just swimming.
Magic.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know. But I think that's all those years of being raised up on like your myths and, you know, like I would love more than anything to get to go to Crete and stand in the Minotaur's labyrinth and like that kind of stuff just seems neat. I want to go to the banks of Loch Ness and look for Nessie and I want to like it's dumb and it's silly but magic.
It's not dumb. That would be really cool.
Yeah. There's people there though.
There are people there.
Yeah.
There seems to be people all over the place.
I know.
Although we we were watching a YouTube channel, the Yes House, the Yes Team. This guy decided to take a vacation to the least visited country in the world,
Okay.
and now I forget what it's called. Turunga,
Okay.
I believe is what it was called. And it's basically just this little strip of islands that surround a body of water. So if you look at it on a map, it just looks like a horseshoe print.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah. And he went there and landed, and there were like no other tourists there when he was there.
Huh.
It was kind of crazy.
Interesting.
Everybody was like confused when they were like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And he's like, "Oh, I came here for fun." And they're like, "What?"
Why?
But weirdly, he ran into somebody that recognized him from his YouTube channel.
That's awesome.
So he ran into a fan on one of the islands. It was pretty cool.
That is really cool.
And they became brothers,
Oh,
which is really sweet. It's cool.
that is really cool. That's
Yeah.
neat.
Yeah, we were watching that because they did a video on. It was the one where they were going to the pyramid in Guatemala.
It still bothers me
But what
that they
bothers-
climbed a pyramid. Like I don't know. I guess I'm just not. I don't know enough about that topic. But
it was fairly obviously part of their tourist for the country, because they were all the way there. They would hike for like 12 hours, but then they would stop in these little stations, and there were structures there
oh, okay.
that were there for that reason, for like geologists and different people that came in to study.
Okay.
And so, yeah, the country obviously knew that people were going to be doing this, and they were cool with it.
Well, and if they have to hike that far in, these probably aren't the big ones then. Because, like, I know, like, there was that lady that just got arrested for climbing the ones in Mexico. And that's illegal and rude and sacred and, like, those are sacred Mayan sites.
That's a whole other country, too.
Well, yeah, but Guatemala and Mexico, where the pyramids are, it's like saying that Richland and Pasco are separate cities. Yeah, technically, but they're right next to each other.
This one,
And so, but
was,
like sacred is still sacred. Just
Yeah.
because the borders have changed doesn't mean the sacred site, the sacredness of the site hasn't changed. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah,
I mean, because they're not very far apart.
and I'm sure part of it has to do with like trying to get recognition for this site. 'Cause
Yeah.
most of it is just buried. They're when you watch the footage, you can see like active like dig sites going on where they're trying to uncover more of it.
I wanted to do that so bad.
But you
That's what I wanted to be when I grew up.
Yeah, you wanted to dig up old stuff.
I wanted to be Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Well, you kind of got to do it once, right?
Yeah, I got to go do it with the mammoths. That was so cool.
Yeah.
I was talking to them again not that long ago, and they were like, come back and do it again. And I'm like, yes, let's go.
That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's really neat. I like the precision of it. Like, there are very clear steps and things that you do, and it's repetitive, and like, and you have to be so careful that you're not damaging anything, and so it's very like precise, and I like that.
Yeah, and that was like one of the one things that I had a problem with those videos, because it started out this guy who was from Egypt just wanted to climb the pyramid,
Right.
and
That's illegal.
I don't. Well, yeah, and even just disregarding any of the legality of it. Why do you want to climb it? Just to be on top of this thing?
Okay. Yeah.
It
I mean, I get the appeal of just being on top of it, but like, this is a sacred site, and yeah, it's not okay.
Yeah, it just, I don't know, it didn't make any sense to me.
And I guess, I don't know. I mean, and maybe it's just me being silly, but like, the Egyptian pyramids being sacred, aren't most of them empty now? Like,
Yeah.
they've been raided, so they're just the pyramids.
I believe so, yeah.
Like, I don't even think there's anything inside to go in and see. Even if you could get in. Like, I think everything's gone.
I don't think that's the case for all of them, but yeah, most of them have been looted.
Oh, okay.
Because they had like different chambers that would be sealed off, but then the looters just figured out a different way in, and
Right. And
yeah.
they've had so much time to get in there and take whatever they wanted to take that, like, I mean, isn't that
Yeah.
basically what happened to King Tut? He was looted. Just,
Yeah,
it
they
doesn't,
just-
they
they
don't
just
call
happened to
it
find
looting
one,
because
yeah.
it was the British Museum. It's
They're
cultivating.
liberating it. Yeah, cultivating. Yeah.
But I would have made a horrible archaeologist, is what I know now. Like, I'd still be doing it and be like, no, we can't take this.
But you would have looked good in the hat.
I would have. I'd have been cute. But, but like, okay, so, but they were graves, right? Like, they were where bodies were buried, basically. Like, if you were important, you and your entire harem were buried in there. Harem's not the right word because they weren't who you were sleeping with, but like your servants and everybody like went with you.
Yeah.
But I don't think that was the case with the Mayan pyramids. I don't think they are grave sites. I think they are just sacred temples. So going in and climbing a Mayan pyramid, I think would be the equivalent of going and climbing to the top of the Machu Picchu ruins or a Buddhist temple and be standing up top being like, "Oh, look at me." Like, I don't think they were. I mean, not that climbing on a gravestone is any better. Never mind. I don't know where I'm going with it, but
Yeah. I think it boils down to what your intentions are.
yeah, that's true.
If you're going up there just to go woohoo and
Look at me, I'm awesome.
yeah, look at me
That's messed up.
as you're like waving your wiener around or whatever.
This is why we're not invited to Hawaii. This is why all the locals in Hawaii are saying stay away.
Yeah. Yeah. and why I really don't care to go.
I'm
mean-
sure it's beautiful,
Yeah.
but I don't like. I get it.
Yeah, it's not where I belong.
No,
And that attitude would probably get you invited there.
probably, but yeah, but like it's also a matter of just respect, and I feel like, hey, let me come into your country and climb on your ancient ruins is not respectful.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm all about the tourist thing. Like, if we go to New Orleans, which I'm still working on it, I want to go. But if we go to New Orleans, and we won't go during Mardi Gras, but like, I want to go into a voodoo shop and I want to buy a voodoo doll, but I don't want to buy it from somebody who actually practices voodoo. Like, I want Voodoos R Us because I'd be too scared to work if we went to an actual voodoo practitioner. But like, I want to do something silly and touristy. You know what I mean? Like, but then at the same time, I want to do like the real stuff. That, you know, I want to go look at the French Quarter
Yeah.
because it was protected, because the people thought it would be silly to pay the natives a little bit more for it, and they put a blessing on it, and it's the only place not destroyed by Katrina. Like, that is cool.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome.
But, like, you know, I want to go, if we're ever someplace, like, I want to go look for Mothman. I want to look for, like, Tokyo. We need to go find some place where Godzilla stood. Like, those are silly, fun things that aren't necessarily connected to climbing on top of something sacred.
Well, he hung out in New York, right? With Simba.
Huh? Godzilla and Simba.
I'm talking about the Matthew Broderick movie.
With Simba?
Yeah. Yeah, the guy that voiced Simba in the Lion King.
Matthew Broderick was Simba?
Wasn't he?
I don't know.
Like the adult Simba? Am I thinking of the wrong guy?
Oh, no. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Okay.
You're right. Yeah.
You had me doubting myself.
I don't
And
know
then- and then-
names.
And then in like '98, he did a Godzilla movie where,
That's right. I forgot about that.
where that
I
really
always think of-
janky looking Godzilla came to
I
New
always
York.
think Simba's the kid from Home Alone, and then I forget that
yeah,
adult
it
Simba
was
had it.
both.
Well, I know, but I forget that adult Simba had another voice. I'm like, Matthew Broderick is not the kid from Home Alone. What is that guy's name? He had 3 names. Jonathan.
I-
Taylor. Oh my gosh, that's Jonathan Taylor Thomas, and that picture right there had Jonathan, and it was written by Tom Taylor, and that's how I made it.
I knew the answer to it, but it was more fun to watch.
To watch
you-
me point at Jonathan.
Oh,
It's like, what the heck is that kid's name?
you can kind of see it in in my frame right here, right there. There you go.
Yeah. Sorry. My brain.
It's always a journey to get there.
All right, so we've talked a lot about movie monsters. And I think that's probably just because we were such horror movie fans. But what about books and comics? Like, I know we talked about Cthulhu, but like comic book monsters that aren't like your Predator doesn't count because he was a movie first.
Because we've already talked about that.
Well, that too, but he was a movie first. I want only I want like the Tinian, the Colin Bunn, scary shit. Like Something is Killing the Children is the first one that pops into my head.
Mm-hmm.
And then like if we're gonna go that witches are monsters, you've got that one by Colin Bunn with the voodoo Breaking Bad.
Bone Parish.
Bone Parish. I love that one.
Yeah.
But they were people that just had like it was more voodoo, and I don't know. I wouldn't say that would qualify as the witches aren't people thing. Like
Yeah.
because they were more priestess than. But what about best comic book monster?
Calvin and Hobbes.
Oh my God! You need to stop answering that for everything.
It's easy to answer it because the box set is sitting right behind you.
I know.
So.
But you need to quit answering that for everything. Not everything is a Calvin and Hobbes answer.
But Calvin and Hobbes is the best.
No. No. I mean, it's up there, but no.
Yeah, I'd have to say like that monster from Something is Killing the Children was pretty.
That was terrifying.
Yeah.
I loved that one.
So would that qualify as a sci-fi or fantasy monster?
I can't tell you why, because you haven't got it that far, but it's fantasy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fantasy. It's not science. They're magic.
Okay. Because I think the last one that I read was like right when they killed they finally defeated the first one in the
yes,
series
but you
of,
don't
like-
know how they're formed yet. I
Okay.
do,
All right, cool.
and so they are fantasy. Because I'm not much ahead of you, but I am enough that I know. So like the one that you ended with, the next one is her as a kid.
Yeah.
And so it goes backwards. And so it starts out with like her learning how to get everywhere, but then at the same time still kind of takes off where the other one left off,
Yeah.
right? Where she's kind of leaving and on the run. And so you have those two kind of going together. And so you get a ton more about the monsters and who they are and how they're formed and where they come from. And it's really cool.
Yeah. And that's right around the time that they started House of Slaughter
Yes.
too,
Yeah.
where you just kind of get more of the backstory on the different.
The different bandanas, like the different
Yeah.
houses. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because like the first run, I want to say it was the guy that came to get her maybe at the beginning. You know how like when at the very beginning the black guy shows up with the white bandana, right? Does he have a white bandana?
I don't remember what color he had.
I don't remember now.
I think it might have been white, but
But like he was a different house than her. I think the first book is his story, and then the next one is a girl with a different color bandana. And so yeah, that's really cool.
yeah, I got to get caught up on that stuff.
That's a really good one.
I need to get through that damn Predator book.
Judge Dredd has some really good monsters. And like I would say they're monsters, but I would say they're sci-fi monsters because they're human mutations.
Yeah.
I mean, and I guess technically that would make X-Men monsters.
Yeah.
I would argue some of them are.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff in the Judge Dredd universe is like either mutants from the cursed earth or aliens.
Right. So those would all be sci-fi monsters.
And then you have like the dark judges that came from a different dimension. So
That's still science though, isn't it?
yeah. That's kind of that.
Unless it's like hell.
I think they go to hell at one point.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's when Dredd loses his eyes,
Oh, okay.
which
How
is
very Odin of him.
which is a great story because he loses his eyes. This dude like pokes him out with his fingers, and then he gets new bionic eyes, and they end up being better than his original eyes.
Like Beto eyes?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
And he's like, why didn't I do this before?
That's awesome.
In true Dredd fashion.
Of course. But they have some good ones that are
Mhm.
kind of an interesting take on things. I mean, you got Slain. That's all your magic monsters, your
Oh, yeah.
dragons, and your. I like those guys. I'm trying to think of like my favorite horror. Because like Constantine doesn't really fight monsters. The closest thing you get with him is Etrigan. And he doesn't fight Etrigan. I mean, he fights demons every once in a while. And he sleeps with Lucifer. But like,
Yeah.
but like even Batman, most of your, I don't know, they're not really monsters.
Except for Condiment Man.
He is a monster.
Absolute monster. Putting ketchup on
Hot
dogs and
dogs?
stuff.
Oh, he's horrible. Murder Falcon has good monsters.
That it does.
Well, it's got some pretty cool kaiju.
It has cool monsters on both sides.
Yeah.
Good and bad.
Mm-hmm. Like, I like the one, like, I don't know. I like that the monster is tied to the type of music and the instruments. So, like, I'm trying not to give anything away, but like, okay, so the guy that we follow, right, with the big eagle, he's an American person playing American rock and roll. Like it's like heavy metal. It's American, and so he's freaking eagle that with a mullet practically, or maybe the other guy has a mullet. I don't know, but he's an
Not
eagle.
an eagle. He's a falcon.
Whatever, but he's very like I love him. But like some of the others are different depending on where their person is from and what they play. And I want to see somebody play the bagpipes in that universe.
Oh yeah.
I want to see what comes out of a bagpipe. That sounded weird.
Yeah, I don't know what.
But like, because like Scotland's national animal is a unicorn. So would it be a unicorn or would it be a Nessie or would it like what kind of kaiju would they have in Scotland? It's a hedgehog.
Yeah.
It's a hedgehog. I think that's England, though. I mean, I'm sure they have hedgehogs in Scotland.
Yeah, I don't know the
I don't
answer
know.
to that. I know they're all over like England.
Yeah. But is it a southern England thing? And like, because once you get like, I don't think a hedgehog would do well in the cold.
Yeah. What about what about in Wales? Would just a burly drunk man come out and headbutt you?
Well, because it can't be a whale. That would be too on the nose.
Well,
It's a Highland cow in Scotland.
Oh yeah. And he just comes out and hangs out. He's like, hey,
He cutes you to death.
yeah, I'd beat you up, but my legs are too short.
He's so cute. I love those. The neighbor got a Highland cow, and he's so adorable. I cannot wait. You don't eat Highland cows, do you? Is our neighbor going to eat his cow?
I don't know.
You need to know.
I'm gonna say no.
Thank you.
They just they live forever,
Okay.
and yeah, they just get fuzzier and fuzzier.
And
And then
the shaggy
eventually, they're just a big fluff, and they ascend to the heavens.
Perfect. That's exactly what I want to happen. All right. I was gonna be really sad if he just gone next year because they're gonna eat him. It's like, oh my god, do you eat Highland cows?
Even this one right here, I think he's too young to do that anyway. You'd have plenty of time.
There is never enough time.
I guess. Yeah.
But
I still miss those pigs that were down the driveway.
I know they were so cute. Okay, see that? Okay, new segment. What is the country's kaiju?
God.
Like
Yeah.
Russia would be a bear, hands down. Russia would be a bear.
Mm-hmm. But would he be?
Don't. Nope. Put it back in your brain.
What?
Put it back in your brain.
What am I putting back in my brain? It can go one of two ways. He's either a big gay bear or he's on a unicycle.
Why not both?
Why not? Big gay bear on a unicycle.
Yeah.
There
All
we
right.
go.
I'm kind of okay with that.
Please don't murder me. I'm joking.
Canada. It's a murder goose.
Canada Gooses.
Canada gets the murder goose.
Okay.
Okay.
We gotta do this segment really quick because we're right at time.
Okay. Nope, I'm done then. Okay, tell me your joke I'm not going to get.
Oh, crap. I don't have one. I'm ill prepared.
You are not prepared.
Oh, no. Okay. I'm going to end up just finding the first one that I come across.
You're just going to roll the dice and hope for the best?
Roll the dice and... Oh, no.
I don't like the loud
right,
sound
so
of that one.
All right. So this is literally the first one on the Dad Jokes subreddit.
Okay.
And it's kind of topical. Maybe subtropical. That's something different. Okay. It's topical to like pop culture.
Okay.
The Last of Us is a terrible title. It should have been called Humongous Fungus Among Us.
I mean, excellent name. But what does that have to do with zombies?
The zombies in Among Us, or not Among Us, in The Last of Us are like fungal.
Oh, like what Poison Ivy's doing to people?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh no. All right. I'm gonna end on a All right. So what
No, I don't like how this sounds already.
what is Peter Pan's favorite place to eat out?
Oh God.
Wendy's.
I hate you. I hate you. No, bad.
No?
Bad.
Oh, come on.
No.
So do we need another one to offset that one?
I'm kind of terrified to let you keep going.
Oh my god.
No.
A man calls the doctor and says, "My wife is in labor." The doctor asks, "Is this her first child?" And he says, "No. I'm her husband." I totally didn't read that right, but it was mostly right.
Mostly right.
So and that's how I roll. Mostly right. And that's all the time we have for today. Join us next time when Jenn says...
God damn it.
All right. Good night, everybody.
I just wanted to say that I'm a nerd.
I'm a nerd too.
I'm in love with a nerd.